Okay, today I'm going to show you how to do a robin's hip carry with a ring. This is just a variation on the traditional robin's hip carry using a ring. This is a great carry if you're a beginning wrapper because it's what we call semi-poppable, meaning that it's partially tied onto you before you put your baby into the wrap. It's also really great if you're going to be running errands and taking your baby in and out of the wrap a lot and you don't want to have to re-wrap every time. A hip carry is good for babies that are, you kind of naturally start to carry them on your hip. They have a little bit better head support and trunk control. They're starting to sit up a little bit more. They don't have to be sitting completely unsupported, but just having that ability to hold themselves upright. It's just great if your baby is curious and starting to want to look around and you want to move past doing a tummy-to-tummy carry. If you have a little baby, you can do this in a tummy-to-tummy carry. Just put your baby squarely on the front of you instead of on your hip. So I'm going to use a size 6. You could also use a shorter wrap, like a 3 or a 4, depending on your size. You just tie off in a different spot. And I'm going to go about that far over from my middle markers right here, about that far over that way, and fold it over. And I'm just going to kind of gather it up in my hand. And then I'm going to just thread my ring through and keep it at that point that I found. So right now I have a short side and a long side with my ring on here. I just kind of want to make sure it's gathered a little bit evenly and not folded up weird. Okay. And so from here, the short side is going to go underneath the long side, and I'm going to put it up on my shoulder. Like so. I'm going to put it about where I want my rings to sit, so about in the hollow of my chest right here. And then just dealing with the part of the wrap over on the top, this is my longer side. I'm going to bring this around and thread it through my ring right here. That short side is just staying there for me to be able to tie off at the end. I'm not really worried about it right now. It's just kind of hanging down right here. And this is why it's semi-poppable, because I'm doing all of this before I even put my baby on. So I could do this before I left the house if I wanted to. Would probably be better with a short wrap so I didn't have all my wrap dragging on the ground. But then if I needed to take baby in and out quite often, then I would just leave it like this. Pop my baby in, tighten up. When I'm done, take my baby out, leave it on, hop in the car. I'm going to grab my guy. Zion is 5 months old. Hi, buddy. And he's not feeling good today because he's getting teeth, so he might be fussy. There you go. There you go. Okay. So in order to get him in, I put him up nice and high on my shoulder, and I like to reach through the bottom of the wrap and kind of guide his feet in. Notice I don't have this pocket too loose. I have it pretty snug. I don't want to have to tighten up too much of the wrap, so I like to have just enough to get my baby in. Make sure I pull this nice and high up on his back. I'm going to make sure that I tuck that fabric underneath his seat, and just to be sure you can actually reach in between the two of you and pull up that fabric too, so we make sure we get a nice deep seat. Here's your beads. Here's your beads. Okay. And from here, I'm just going to pull on this long side and tighten everything up. Gather it up in my hands. Make sure especially that I get out that slack in the top rail, because that'll make it feel nice and secure. And then you can either spread this across baby's back over the leg over here, but I actually like to go underneath his leg on that side because he likes to straighten his legs and mess up his seat. So I'm just going to tuck this to kind of reinforce the seat right here, and then I'm going to go underneath that leg and just spread this up a little bit over his back and bring that around. So that just kind of helps keep his seat reinforced. Okay, and then this short side now I can pull out. If I have any extra slack, I can walk it around. I can walk it around right here and pull out in that top section, pull it out before I tie off. So here's where if you had a short wrap, you could actually just tie off right back here, but since I have this 6 and I have a lot of extra wrap, I'm just going to bring it back around under baby's bottom, I hear you, and tie off underneath this butt. Oh, fuzzy boy. I hear you. I hear you. You're so miserable today. Alright, so I'm going to tie off right here. Alright, and this is Robin's hip carry with a very fussy teething guy in the size 6 wrap. I hope you enjoy. Give it a try. Thanks.
Bye-bye.